I have a friend, a dear friend, a brother-in-arm, a comrade, located in Bangalore. Every evening, we have very long hours of telephonic conversation, and invariably we talk on God and religion. And my friend Ravi, his favorite topic is God and religion, were perennial, and he discussed with me the perennial topic almost and endlessly. He's most concerned with spotting whole lot of reasonable contradictions in all scriptures, be Hinduism, Judaic Christianism, and Muslims scriptures, anything. And of course all the prophets. He is not very observant of the rituals of the faith he belonged. But one beautiful thing about him is that he never imposes his views on others, and he talks on reason. And that's what inspires me and keeps me going on endlessly talking on this subject. And incidentally, again, yesterday I finished yet another very good and a unique book titled Why Bad Things Happen to Good People by Rabi Kushna. I really wonder that this is one of the finest, well argued little book I have read so far. Now here the author's young son was stricken by terminal cancer. His pleading in favor of the existence of just and all powerful God left him unconvinced in the end, and leaves. In fact, it when one any reader who finishes the book, it will leave all of the readers also equally unconvinced as regard the existence of the God and his just and a just God. I remembered of a close friend in Jalandhar after reading the book, Nirmal Singh, and he was a very attractive, handsome army officer, and he lost his only child in his 20s in a car crash. The day the boy had was confirmed in his job, same very day. I remember his words. He used to say very oftenly, lamenting that I didn't ask for a child. God gave him to me. He gave the lad a talent to write poetry and prose, and a very fine, sharp mind. He was well loved by everyone. And suddenly one evening he takes him away from me. What had I done to deserve this cruelty or this cruel treatment? Now you tell me, my friends, how can respond? You all must have seen such incidents known such as incidents in your lives. They are very common. They keep happening. Now you ask yourself how one can respond to such questions. One is left with one and only response that God cannot be called upon to justify his actions. There is one and only answer: to shed floods of tears. I give another example I remember, which happened to me, which I have seen it, of my very dear friend in Hisar, Mr. Sardhana, a landlord, a wonderful man, and lived in a palatial home of his forefathers. His 10-year-old daughter, Supriya, used to always tell me, whenever I visited their home, that uncle, God comes to our garden every day. He talks to my mummy, he talks to my daddy, and he talks to me too. I used to uh, get so charmed by this child's outburst of uh, her feelings about, or his chanting, his interaction with God, and his belief in God's existence. And my usual reply used to her was, "Dear Supriya, I am glad to hear that God visits your home, and He even talks to you and to your mommy and papa. But ask God, why doesn't He ever talks to me? He never talks to me. At least, please take His telephone number so that I can give Him a call." I could not uh, believe when on my postings I went away, and after 15 years I happened to meet Nirmal Singh in Delhi in one of the Cavalry Officers Association's function. And first thing I asked him after 15 years, when I asked him about Supriya, he sadly told me that she was, once I left the place after 1 year, she was diagnosed with a uh, terminal cancer, and after struggling for 10 years she collapsed. My dear friend, disregarding religious beliefs and practices, though hard enough, left many questions unanswered. Most of us believe in the existence of God, often in moments of solitude, watching a star studded sky. Like everyone else, I also ask myself, what is this all about? Did it come from? Where will I go when I die? Much as I thought about them, consulted books of wisdoms of different religion, and entered into dialogue with religious leaders, scholars, I never found an answer. At least I never found a convincing answer. Everybody is blowing their own trumpets in support of their faith or belief, whatever they have. I refuse to be bamboozled with words and formula like the truth is within us. Only we see, only we can see it. Or the body lies, but the soul is imperishable. All these words I don't understand. I came to the conclusion that they knew no more than I. They're as clueless as I was clueless about the existence of God. There are no answer to these questions, my friend. We do not know where we come from. We not we know not the purpose of our lives on earth, and we do not know where we go when we die. I wonder, instead of believing in a fairy tales of Genesis and the day of judgment, or equally baseless stories of reincarnation, why can't we human beings be simply honest and admit we don't know? At least I say to myself, very candidly, I really don't know. I have tremendous belief in every scripture, but not convincing enough. And I was always confronted with examples of what has come to be known as the unknown hand. You all know such stories. Unknown hand. It happened. There was a case of man who fell in the tracks of a in Kanpur. There was a newspaper, underground railways, as a train was approaching the platform. The train pulled up just as its wheels touched the man's legs. The driver swore he had not pulled the brakes. The emergency cord had been pulled by someone who could not possibly have seen the leg on the track. Who was it? They never found out. Somewhat similar incident happened with me. I bought a new car and I was driving. This happened in Puri, and took plans to park it under a shade of a mulberry tree outside my apartment. One hot afternoon, I was in two minds about whether or not to go for a swim on in the beaches. A storm seemed to be building up, and I was not sure whether I would be worth my executing my plans. And I sat in the car and drove. The moment I drove, suddenly the huge branch of the tree under which the car was parked, it broke and fell. And I said, there has to be some invisible hand. There has to be something beyond me, unknown hand, which saved me. Otherwise, in a fraction of a second, I would have lost, if not my life, if I was not inside the car, at least the car. I gave you uh, all this. Why I am telling you all this? Because the closer I get to the meeting of my Maker, the more an skeptic I become of his existence. Most people accept, I feel, the Voltaire's argument, and he says that we can scarcely believe that there can be a watch without a watchmaker. But no one can get around to conundrum that if God is the cause and the universe is the effect, who or what was it that brought God into existence? Almost I never get any answer. If you all get, let me know. My friends, what could clinch the issue about God is that belief in his existence does not make a person good man, and nor disbelief in his existence make him a bad man. I have known more saints like people among atheists and agnostics than I have among the God fearing believers. I really wonder a lot of time, many a times, कि Ghalib, the great poet, great Urdu poet Ghalib was such a genius. कि what was in his mind when he has to say, हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत लेकिन दिल को खुश रखने को गालिब ये ख्याल अच्छे हैं. I know the reality of heavens, but oh Ghalib, it's a good idea to befool the mind. Thank you very much.